The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Typhoon Karding has intensified further into a super typhoon earlier today. To tell us more about what to expect, we have Pag-asa weather forecaster Ma'am Veronica Torres is joining us over the phone. Ms. Veronica, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon po sa inyo dyan, pati namin po sa ating mga listeners.
Ma'am, meron po ba tayong impormasyon kung nasaan po yung lokasyon ni Karding as of now at inaasahan pa po ba nating lalakas pa siya?
Sa ngayon po, ang latest po natin na nakuha na location niya ay nasa 175 kilometers silangan ng Infanta, Quezon. Sa ngayon, ang lakas na hangin niya ay 195 kilometers per hour, malapit sa gitna at may bugso na 240 kilometers per hour. Sa ngayon, inaasahan natin siyang pwede pa siyang lumakas habang papalapit sa ating landmass, sa Philippine landmass. Pero once na nag-landfall siya, maaari po siyang humina and then lalakas ulit siya pagkalabas ng ating Philippine landmass.
Ma'am, saan po siya inaasahang mag-landfall at kailan po natin ito kailangan paghandaan?
Sa ngayon po, maaari po siyang mag-landfall maybe sa northern part ng Quezon or southern part ng Aurora. If ever, hindi po kasi natin tinatanggal yung possibility na maaari siya mag-landfall sa Polillo Island. Kung around Polillo Island po siya magla-landfall, expect po natin na maybe around 3 to 5 p.m. yung landfall niya. Pero kapag sa northern Quezon or southern Aurora, pwede pong 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. po.
Ma'am, just so we can have a better understanding, kung ikukumpara po ba natin ito, let's say, to Typhoon Odette, gaano po kalakas si Karding?
Si Karding ay, sa ngayon po kasi umabot na po siya ng 195 kilometers per hour. And then, yung category din po kasi ni Odette ay umabot din po siya ng around that range. And then, kung sa intensification, yung kay Odette po kasi ang nangyari sa kanya ay tinatawag nating rapid intensification. And then, dito naman kay Karding, ang tinatawag natin ay explosive intensification, which is yung kay Karding ay mas mabilis po siyang lumakas or nag-intensify compared kay Odette po.
And with that being said, Ma'am Veronica, in terms of damage, up to what extent are we looking at? Ito po nga maidudulot ni Typhoon Karding at ano po yung mga kailangan gawing paghahanda, lalo na po yung mga kababayan natin dyan sa may bandang norte?
Sa ngayon po, ang nakikita nga po kasi nating track ngayon ni Karding ay mostly dito po siya sa may around Central Luzon na babaybay, and then pwede din siyang lumapit dito sa Metro Manila mga gabi po, siguro mga 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. Kaya yung kasi nga po ngayon, ang pinakamataas na tropical cyclone wind signal na naitaas po natin ay signal number 5. Dito po yan around Polillo Island, and then pag nag-signal number 5 po kasi tayo, yung threat po niya ay extreme to sa buhay natin and then pati na rin po sa ating property. Kaya kung pwede lang po sana, pag in-advise na po tayong mag-evacuate na din po tayo. And also, sa mostly naman ngayon ang sa north, dahil medyo bumaba yung track niya, mas naging less yung damage po. Kaya mas pinag-iingat po natin itong mga kababayan nating nasa Central Luzon po.
One final question, Ma'am. Other than Karding, meron pa po ba tayong ibang minomonitor na weather disturbances?
Sa ngayon po, wala naman na po tayong minomonitor na other weather disturbance po.
Well, thank you very much for all those information. That was Pag-asa weather forecaster, Ms. Veronica Torres. Meanwhile, several sports leagues have postponed their scheduled games ahead of Super Typhoon Karding's landfall. The PBA canceled its doubleheader matches between Meralco and NLEX and Converge versus Ginebra. The same goes for the third leg of the PBA 3-on-3. The NCAA also canceled its scheduled games for today. Volleyball action at the Shakey's Super League has also been rescheduled at a later date. Signal number 3 is currently raised over Metro Manila. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The United Nations says rising inflation and climate change have caused millions of people to starve. The details in this report by Associated Press.
Bye. We're facing a food pricing problem in 2022 that's creating havoc around the world. Well, if we don't get on top of this thing quickly, and I don't mean next year, I mean this year, you will have a food availability problem in 2023, and that's going to be hell on earth. We're looking at an $11 billion shortfall of food production inside Africa alone. Now, I could go to Central America, South America, same issues on droughts. India, devastated by heat and drought, and it can go on and on. The world produces enough food to feed everybody on the planet, over 7.7 billion people. 50% of that food is because of fertilizer. So if you don't have fertilizer, you can't have harvest of the yields that you need. The fertilizers that we're talking about, number one, China's got a complete export ban on fertilizer. Number two, the number two producer of fertilizer in the world is Russia. And they are struggling to get the fertilizer out. I'm asking world leaders, I don't care how you feel about Russia, China, or anything, fertilizers have got to move to bring food security to the rest of the world. Otherwise, there's going to be chaos all over the world. The other factor is inflation and the value of the dollar. Because the value of the dollar is so strong now, it's offset any movement we've had in the poor countries with regards to food pricing. We were able to avert famine in the last couple of years as I went to the leaders of the world, said if you don't respond, you will have catastrophe on catastrophe, is particularly in the height of COVID. And the leaders did respond. We averted famine. But then Ukraine comes on, shutting down the breadbasket of the world that produces enough food to feed 400 million people.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The MTRCB is weighing discussions on their push to expand regulation to include streaming services. The agency said some parents have expressed concern over content in streaming apps like Netflix, which they think should be regulated. On the flip side, some groups believe that regulating these platforms could result to higher subscription fees. The Social Welfare Department has wrapped up its distribution of educational cash assistance. The department said over 500,000 indigent students were able to benefit from the program. Authorities have arrested the driver who ran over and abandoned an elderly street sweeper in Parañaque. The suspect, identified as Raymond Zaparain, is now in police custody a day after the hit-and-run incident. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1:30 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.